the creator. Hello, airbenders. I haven't developed much of an audience on YouTube. I'm developing my following on here. I have a following on Instagram. So if I don't have a lot of live engagement, but I do have a following. But my biggest following is on Twitter. So I will put that in the description box if you all are interested in following me on there. Um, we're here to discuss misogyny and it being a problem in society and its effects on said society. Now, so that I didn't misuse words, misogyny, according to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition, because I didn't want to use the Urban Dictionary because that wouldn't be a good look as a substitute teacher and someone studying to be a licensed full-fledged teacher in a few months once I graduate. I'm substitute teaching as a stepping stone. Congratulations to me. September the 9th will be my last day of undergrad. And then September the 19th, I'm on to my master's and so on and so on. But anyway, misogyny is defined as the hatred or aversion to or prejudice against women. Now, before I go on any further, I believe I would be remiss if I didn't say that I have to do a disclaimer that I should be socially responsible in saying that this video is meant to share my thoughts, opinions, and reflections, and is in no way attempting to diagnose or demonize anyone. I am a substitute teacher for ESS, not a licensed therapist. So if what you need or feel that you need is therapy, you need to seek that by trained individuals in that area, by a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. Not me. That is not my area of specialty. Also, be gracious and socially responsible. This information in this video essay is not meant for you to go out there, even if you are triggered, even if you are mistreated by a misogynist, to go out there and run amok. Violence, even if you are violated in such a way. Nobody is encouraging vigilantism. There are legal protections in place, even though women are historically have been at the bottom of the totem pole. It still does not justify taking the law into your own hands. And I just have to preface that because you don't know who is on the other end of the screen hearing what you're saying. So I just felt the need to be socially responsible before I proceed with content. Another vocabulary word is henephilic. It is a heterosexual man that is attracted to feminine attributes of women. Now, you would think if you're heterosexual, that would be a given. Of course, you by nature, you would be attracted to feminine attributes. But herein lies the caveat, in my opinion. You can, as a man, in my opinion, I'm not a man, but I'm just putting my noggin caps on, thinking that if I were a man, a heterosexual man, and my target was a female, I could very well be attracted to women and not like women. Hence the term misogynist. And you could very well want to be in relationship with women. You could very well think that intellectually that you respect women. You could very well think that you love them. You could very well have the best of intentions. But if you have not done your shadow work, if you have had unhealed, unresolved traumas, if you have come from a broken home, or if the woman in your life, the first woman in your life, the woman that was supposed to model for you how women were supposed to treat you, i.e., your mother or mother figure, if y'all have a broken relationship, we're looking at pathology. That's how most misogynists are made. I don't think misogynists are born. I think it's more nurture than it is nature. I could be wrong, but I think circumstance plays a big role in that. And what got me interested in this was I racked my brain trying to figure out, was my ex really a narcissist, or was he just a misogynist? Because I I just think that the term narcissist is just overused. When we're hurt and we really want, because I'm a person that wants to have a plausible explanation for something. I don't want to name call, but I'm a very cerebral person. I want to have an explanation for something. And if something doesn't compute for me, I'm going to want to research it until I'm like, aha, bingo. This is what went wrong. I'm like the coroner for relationships. Okay, I can identify right here, right then, and this was the breaking point. This is what set the stage for this to go wrong. I don't have control over the other person, but going forward, these are the signs that I can look for so I can date from a more cerebral place. And as I got more educated on signs to look for, I became more educated on a lovely lady. I believe she's Indian. She's a doctor. I love her work and she's empathetic, but she's also a realist. Her name is Dr. Romney, and she specializes, I believe, in narcissism. And I went down that deep dive, and I think I've seen a lot on her of her work on YouTube. And I've seen Dr. Les Carter's work. He is phenomenal. He's retired now. He used to be a psychologist. Dr. Carter, you can find him on YouTube as well. Highly recommended. He is very empathetic as well. And these aren't YouTube psychologists, these people actually have credentials. So, well respected people. So, I was trying to get resources for myself, to educate myself, not to seek revenge, but just to have the knowledge base. So, okay, when I go back out there in the dating world, because I didn't want to walk around acrimonious and damaged, I wanted to be empowered so I could make better choices. That was all. I didn't want to walk around upset. And now I'm in a healthier, happier relationship, a loving relationship, but I could not get there without a knowledge base. And I thank those two individuals. I have not met them in person, but if it was not for their work and prayer and a support system in person and my church and people who love me, I would not have gotten through that chapter. But that's what started a part of that journey. Self care, being gracious with myself was part of it. But then I just had an epiphany. What if, just out of possibility, my ex wasn't a narcissist? What if he was just a misogynist? And I just came across an article and I was just reading it because I just love to research. I love to read. So I I've just been experiencing a lot of what I believe to be misogyny, and it doesn't always have to come in the form of low vibrational on paper Pookie and Ray Ray people. These could be so-called high value men, and that's what didn't compute for me. It didn't make sense on paper. It didn't make sense because this person was an educated or had a marketable skill. This person appeared to be empathetic. He was everything people would push you to date on paper, but something, it just did not feel right. He wasn't a red flag. He was just a yellow flag. But as I got to know him, as I got to date him, it turned into something that was a red flag. It was just the little things that it was just like the Mr. Nice Guy that is like, oh, he's safe. He has credentials. You can trust him. It was like that type of thing. But when you get with that person alone, the the hairs on the back of your neck stand up type of person, aka malignant narcissist. I really, in my gut, maybe, just maybe, he could be both. And two things can be true at the same time. I just, for my own, because I'm an overthinker, not that something that has to be the case. I just ruminate over things like that because and even if that's not the case, at the very least, I just want him to do his shadow work. It's not even to demonize him. So, on his life path for himself, because we're clearly not a match. As a man, I want the best outcome for him because I've moved on. I don't have an ounce of hatred at all, at all, and I mean this from the depths of my soul. I really want him to sit in a therapist chair. I really want him to get Christian counseling. I want him to get around some positive brothers, develop a brotherhood, get in prayer group. And I really, after he's done all that, I want him to find somebody. I really do. I really do. And I mean that from a sincere place, because I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's misdirected. I really do. I really do. And it hurts having to make this video because I'm getting ready to start my life with somebody else. And by God, I wanted it to be this person. But it's heartbreaking to know that because of the choices they made, and all they have to do is just be accountable and just step up to the plate and be a man. That's all. I'm not asking for material things. I'm not asking for a kidney. I'm just asking for you to be mature. That's it. It could be fixed, but it's just beyond repair. And that's the saddest thing in the world. But in that process, I found out how strong I am. I found out how beautiful I am. And I found out just how fabulous I am. But it still hurts. It still hurts. Every minute it hurts. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to go.